Joining me now is Clark Milioti, who owns Paddle Mentor, and you do stand-up paddleboard lessons. And for those who don't know about stand-up paddleboarding, maybe they've seen it. It's grown in popularity over the past few years, and it's a water sport where you stand up on a paddleboard.
Correct.
So tell me about how you got interested in it and how you decided to do lessons.
Sure. So a number of years ago, about 10 years ago, I was flipping through a surf magazine, and that's just about when the stand-up paddleboard scene was hitting the west and east coasts. And I was intrigued by it, and I was committed to find somebody who could show me how to do this. And I found a very skilled teacher who showed me and gave me all the right habits. And I was so stoked by it that I became addicted to it, and I went out the next day and bought 2 boards. And so that was about 9 years ago. And then over the years, my wife and I would paddle. We would take friends out. I would show them the techniques that I knew, because my whole thing was to make people enjoy this sport. I wanted people to be as excited about it as I am, and not just try it because they see other folks doing it.
And stand-up paddleboarding, it's generally a relaxed water sport, but you can get pretty wild on it if you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you bet.
Right?
It's got an incredible dynamic range. You could paddle in calm, still water like lakes and rivers, or you can take it out into the ocean and jump off the lip, as they say. So, and anything in between. It's got a really wide range of uses.
Yeah, I didn't know about how many different varieties of paddleboards there were. For example, there's this green and white one behind us, which that one's like, it's long,
yeah,
and you can fly on it.
Yeah, that's 14 feet. Unlike the other paddle boards, it has a V-shaped hull to displace the water, so it's really designed for speed and accuracy, distance kind of either racing or fitness touring.
So Paddle Mentor, you specialize in beginners.
Yes.
So for those who have never stepped on a paddleboard before, you're able to guide them and show them the ropes.
You bet. Yeah, that's what I pride myself on. Again, it all goes back to my initial experiences and how impactful those experiences were to me. And I want the sport to continue to expand, and the way to do that is to have people get excited about it and not frustrated. So I'm all about safety, and I'm all about fun.
So it's a smart thing to do, is to get a lesson from you rather than going out and renting a paddleboard first or buying one and you don't know how to use it.
Well, I appreciate you for saying that, but absolutely, you're 100% correct, because I see it all the time in the area waterways where people will rent them, and you can tell they've not been shown any of even basic technique, and they're frustrated. You can see the frustration on them, and they may just hang it up and never give it a try, never take it to the next level and see what it can really do.
So we're gonna get on the paddleboards here in a little bit. I'm excited. I've never had a lesson before. I've tried once, but it's the same thing. It's like I got frustrated. I didn't think I knew what I was doing, but if I can get you to teach me, then I will hopefully really enjoy it. And I think I will. I'm looking forward to it. What is the first thing you need to know about paddleboarding if you step on it?
First thing you need to know is to get your mind to relax. You have to be in a very relaxed, kind of fluid state to change your outlook. So that's the first thing, and I know that's easier said than done. The next thing is really just kind of your stance on the board, what we call a soft knee, and I'll demonstrate it in a moment. Just you can't be rigid. You have to be fluid and flexible, because the medium under you is fluid and flexible, and you have to sort of respond in kind to that.
This is like a shock absorber almost, making yourself
basically,
a human shock. I think one of the things people are most afraid of is that they're going to fall into the water.
Yep.
So how do you overcome that by relaxing yourself?
Well, so when I get students who are really obsessed with falling off, I make them fall off. And, because there's many benefits to that. It's out of your system, and now you know, gee, I fell off and I'm still okay. But part of the ground school that I take people through is safety, and the largest safety instrument that you have paddleboarding is the paddleboard. They're leashed to your ankle or calf, and I stress that over and over with people. Should you fall, don't panic, grab that leash and pull that board to you and jump back on the board. Even though we use PFDs, personal flotation devices, life preservers, we used to call them, the paddleboard is your #1 safety device.
So once somebody that you're teaching gets going, where do you go from there? Do you do a little bit of a tour, or where
Sure.
do you go?
Yeah, we take them out on the canal system here, and then once I see, it's very personalized, so I have to gauge their level of experience and their interest. I've had some folks out there who after 5 minutes said, hey, this is great, but can you show me a little more advanced paddle technique? I'd love to be able to do this, or can you show me a better way to turn, that sort of thing. And then there are other folks who just want to, they just want to cruise straight and, get more comfortable with the thing. So it runs the gamut, but it's basically about an hour tour through these lovely canals. So
Okay, we're here in Ocean Isle Beach. Is this where you typically do the tour, or can you, or the lesson rather, can you meet somebody to where they are? Say somebody's in Sunset Beach and that's
Sure.
where they're vacationing?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sunset actually has some lovely backwater, some marsh waters, really good calm waters to paddle in as well. I prefer the canal for the beginner just because it's easier to get on and off the board. There's less boat traffic to worry about. There are less obstacles to absorbing the lesson.
Yeah, the canals, you can compare it to your quiet neighborhood street where you're trying to learn to ride a bike.
You bet. Yep. I'm going to teach the kids to ride a bike here on the
A
water.
water bike, rather. Okay, Clark, thanks so much. We're going to go ahead and learn how to paddleboard.
Yeah,
I'm
excellent.
excited.
Let's get to it. Okay, so if I want to turn right, I'm going to put my paddle at the right rear and then paddle backwards. Right, so try that. See how that went right? Yeah. Same thing, if I'm headed for the dock and I want to turn left, I'll put it in the left rear and start paddling backwards. Right? Logo up front. When I transition from the side, I'm going to slide my top hand down to the bottom hand. All right. I'm going to flip around. Correct. That's right. And again, the alternative to turning is you can also turn at the nose of the board, but it goes in the opposite direction. So see how, so you're up at the nose on the left, but it went right, right?
You can do either one.
You could do either one, and then the nose turn's a little more advanced because it's a faster turn. But you have to be thinking kind of backwards. You know, it's easier to say, well, my paddle's already on the right, I'm going to turn right, right? All right, and don't forget, put that logo in the front. There you go. All right. So this is a great place just to get people acclimated to turning, because turning's critical, whether you're standing or kneeling. Kind of get used to the board. If you ever decide to do this again and you rent one, they all feel different. Kneeling is a great way to kind of understand the dynamics of the board, right? Because they all feel different. Like this one's meant for surf, so this one's terrible actually in the flat water. It's way too unstable. I like that. That's a 12-foot board that you're on, so there's a lot of planing surface contacting the water. So the net of that is a very stable ride. Right? Turning trick works for you?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so you straddle the paddle across the deck because you're going to need that paddle in a second.
That helps you like kind of balance.
Yep. Here you go. Keep your knees bent and don't overthink it. Awesome. Wonderful. Relax. This is fun, remember? Okay. Okay, go to your knees if you feel shaky. You always have your knees. Okay, great. Perfect. Well executed. Always use your knees. Perfect. That's the right thing to do. That's how you get yourself back together. You just boom. Whether that's a boat coming or whether that's a sort of a sudden loss of balance. You know, I will say this, even though this is a very relaxing endeavor, you need to be in the moment. And that's what I like about this thing. It kind of forces you to put the noise of the day in a box. It'll be there when you get back. But while you're doing all this stuff, there's a tremendous amount of stuff to think about. And that's a sort of cool aspect of it once you get comfortable in that kind of mindset. You did great. Paddlementor.com. There's the plain old-fashioned telephone at 609-238-0174. Smoke signal would do, but you got to be really good at that. But basically that's how you can reach me. So there's contact forms on the web. I have a Facebook page, Facebook/PaddleMentor, or the phone number 609-238-0174. Thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it.